All right, here's the video on how to make a threaded rod. So I'm gonna stop several times along the way and show you where what stuff should look like. So first, click on the dude, hit your delete key, and he is out of there. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make a circle in the origin. It doesn't really matter how big it is, so I'm just gonna make a circle, bam. So now I have a circle. The important thing is make it a group. So I can do it two ways. I can go click, click, and select everything and go make group. Maybe undoing a group is explode. Or I can just select the whole thing, make group. So basically when you click on the bottom, I should have the whole thing selected with a box around it. All right, so now I'm gonna make the little things that come out of it. So I'll go to one of the edges and bam, I'm gonna go straight up and get my pencil tool. I'm gonna go to one of the endpoints and I'm just gonna make sure it shows me blue. See it showing red? No good. I wanna see blue. So see blue right there, red, blue. So I wanna see blue, that's straight up. So blue, bam, and then down to the next corner down, bam. So basically this guy goes straight up. Since the first was blue, see it comes straight up from the thing. Now I'm gonna take it and erase this edge. If I can, there we go. Bam. So now I have a group, and on top of the group, I have this one kind of line coming out of it. Now I want to copy this line. So I select it, I just click on it to select it, and I will go to my rotate tool, go to the origin, to the middle, bam, and I'm gonna go to the endpoint of the line. I'm gonna hold my control key down, click on it one time, and then I'm gonna move it to the next corner over there, endpoint in group. And I go click, and then I let go, it's 15 degrees. And then I immediately go, without touching anything, I go X 23. I want 23 more of them, bam. So now I have 24 of these guys going around. So again, I have a group and I have each one of these that I can select individually. So now I want to select all of these guys and copy them up. So I'm going to basically, I can do it a couple of different ways. I can go to a view where I can basically make a selection box. So if I start right above the box and goes to the left, anything inside the box that's touching inside the box will be selected, bam. So now every one of them was selected. So that's one way you can select them. Another way is I can just put a box this way around it, towards down and right. Everything is selected, and then deselect, I hold the shift key and click on the bottom. So it deselected the bottom, everything else is selected, bam. So now I want to move these guys up. So in essence, what I want to do is I want to take one of these endpoints at the bottom and I'm going to move it to the endpoint right above it. So I'm going to grab my move tool, bam. I'm going to click, hold the control key, click on this guy, and then move it straight up blue till it touches the endpoint of the other one, and then go click. Immediately, I'm going to go times 200. Whoa, times 200, enter. So now I have this giant cylinder. Bam. Okay, so now in this cylinder, I'm going to select only one of these spiral. I'm going to keep it. So check it out. So I'm going to select the whole thing. Bam. Then I'm going to zoom in on the bottom. And I'm going to deselect one of the lines and the bottom. So basically, I'm going to hold the shift key and I'm going to triple click on one of the lines. Click, click, click. So now I can see if I go out, see how it's deselecting it all the way up. And you can see all the way up, one of the lines is now deselected. I'm going to do the same with the bottom. I'm going to hold the shift key and click on the bottom one time. So now everything is selected blue except for the bottom and one of the spiral. So now I just hit the delete key, delete, and everything but that spiral got deselected. All right. So now I have a bottom, which is a group, and I have a spiral, which is many individual pieces. If I went click, 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 it would select the whole thing. So I want to make that a group. So I can do a couple of different things. Again, I can go and I can select the whole thing, and then I can hold the shift key, click on the bottom. So now only the spiral is selected, which is what I want. Or I can go and I go click, 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 triple click it, and it selects the whole thing. Either one of them will work. Once the whole spiral is selected, I right click and I make the spiral a group. So now I have two groups. I have bottom is a group, spiral is a group. So now I gotta basically take and I'm gonna copy the spiral. So I have one that's in the opposite direction, opposite side. So with the spiral selected, and again, I can click to select something, click on the bottom, click on the spiral. When the spiral group is selected, I'm gonna select my rotate tool again. I'm gonna click on the middle of it. I'm gonna go to the end point. See, end where the spiral hits down here. I'm gonna hold the control key, click on it, and start moving. As soon as I start moving and I see the copy is moving, I just let go and I type in 180, bam. So now I have a spiral going the opposite direction. So now I should have three groups. I have my bottom is a group. This spiral is a group. You can see the other spiral is black, not selected. And the other spiral is a group. So I got three different groups. The bottom is a group, and each of the spirals is a group. Bam. So now, basically what I want to do is I want to raise the bottom all the way to the top. To do that, I want to edit the group. To edit the group, I double click on it. So I go in and I go click, click on the bottom. And you would see this kind of box around it that started. And now I'm going to start raising it up. So only the bottom is selected. And I'm going to raise it all the way up to the top. Bam. And then I want to make sure that it's at the same height as these guys. So I'm basically going to raise it, and I'm going to touch over here, see endpoint, outside curve. So basically it's the same height as where the spiral ends. Bam. So again, I have three groups. The cylinder is a group. This spiral is a group. Oh, hold on, let me select it. This spiral is a group. You can see it turns blue, and see every second one is that spiral. And this spiral is a group. So now I'm going to start exploding them or undoing them. Okay, so now I go in, I click on my cylinder group, and I go right click, explode. So the cylinder is no longer a group. So if I click, see now I can click on the cylinder, the top is a different piece than this guy. Outside of it, I have this group that's my spiral that's a group, and I have this spiral as a group. So I come in, I click on the top spiral, and I go explode. So now I have individual pieces. I can select this guy, I can select that guy, I can select this guy, each part of it. Now I'm going to select this spiral right here, and I'm going to go explode. See how it's still selected? That's important. Don't click on anything now. You want this selected. If it doesn't select, go Control Z till you have all the groups and explode them again. So check it out. If I hit S, on the keyboard, S brings up the scale tool. And now I'm going to go down. It disappeared again. But I'm going to find the middle. I go S. Here's the middle, right? So if I orbit around a little bit, bam, hit S again. Every time I move, it disappeared. So basically, I'm going to go in this way, and I'm going to go in that way. So whenever I have the scale to, if I hit the control key, you'll see like right here, a box in the middle shows up. So I'm going to hold the control key because I'm going to scale about the center. And I take this guy and I start moving it in. Doesn't really matter how far because I'm going to type in 0.7 enter. Bam. So that went in 70%. I'm going to go to this guy. I'm going to hold the control key. I'm going to start pushing it in, and I type 0.7 enter. So now it looks like this. Bam. Not quite like a threaded rod, but I have all the pieces now, and nothing is a group. Everything has been degrouped. Now I can select the whole thing. Bam. I can hit S, and then on the top, I want to select, see the middle one of all the 9 things, and I can push it down and see now it's going to look like a threaded rod. Bam. So there you go. Here's your threaded rod. Now that I have that, make it a group. Bam. And then I want to do an entity check right here and make sure it's a solid group. So it should say solid group, otherwise something is wrong with it. So I hope that helps. So look at this video and go Control Z, step back to every one of the checks where I show you what's a group and not. So hopefully that will help. So there we go.